Hi parents! If your child can see the board clearly, has had a recent vision test but is still struggling with reading, tracking words across a page, getting headaches or getting really tired when doing schoolwork, this episode is for you. Because not every issue that a child has is based on their effort, their motivation, their focus, or even needing glasses. Sometimes the issue can be how well their eyes are working together. And this isn't really something that parents have been told to look out for. Welcome to From the Teacher's Desk. I'm a special education teacher with 3 master's degrees and a medical background, and I share practical tips for parents and teachers to support learning and behavior. And today we're talking about the eyes and how it is so important for them to work together in order to give the brain the right signal and how much this affects their reading and writing. Let's get started. When most of us think about vision problems, we think about blurry distance vision. We think about whether a child can see the board, read a sign, or if they need glasses. But not all vision problems are about seeing clearly. Some can be about how the eyes move, track, and work together as a team. And when this is not working perfectly, it can have a huge impact on reading, concentration, and comfort of a child while they're doing schoolwork. One example is something called binocular vision dysfunction, and this is when the brain has difficulty combining the information coming in from both eyes into one clear, comfortable picture. Instead of the eyes sending matching information to the brain where it will be used to form one image, the signals are slightly off. And this may sound like a small thing, but for a child who's trying to read, copy information off a board, track words across a page, or do close-up work, this is going to make them work much harder than they need to. In real life, this can be quite hard to figure out because a child isn't going to come to you and say, "My eyes are not working well together." But what this will most probably look like will be a child who avoids reading, a child who loses their place on a page, skips lines, rubs their eyes, or even covers one eye when they are reading. It can also look like a child who says that the words are moving, who gets headaches from reading, or who gets very tired when they're doing close-up work. It can also look like a child who is resistant, unfocused, or distracted. These signs overlap with so many things that it can often be misunderstood. People can assume that the child is not trying or that they have poor concentration. People might think that the child just does not like reading. And there also could be some learning and attention differences as well. But there also could be a visual problem that lies underneath it all, and if nobody looks for it, it can get missed. A standard eye test may not pick this up. A child can pass a basic eye exam and still have difficulty with their eye movements and coordination. A parent may hear their vision is fine and naturally assume that vision is not the problem, but seeing clearly and having eyes work well and efficiently together are different things. Because if a child has to work extra hard keeping words steady on a page, tracking information across a page, and trying to make sense of the visual information in front of them, reading can feel exhausting. And when something feels exhausting, children often avoid it, not because they're lazy or they don't care, but because it feels genuinely uncomfortable. This can also affect a child's confidence. They start believing, "I'm not good at reading, I'm not good at school," when in reality they are working so much harder than anyone realizes. This is where an orthoptist could be incredibly helpful. An orthoptist is a specialist who assesses how the eyes move and how well they work together. They look at things like muscle coordination, and they also see how well the eyes focus and track things. So the issue is not simply about sharpness of vision, but it's about how well the eyes and the brain function together. And it's also important to note that not all vision problems need glasses. Some need targeted exercises or other supports depending on the diagnosis. So if your child has been struggling with reading and the usual explanations do not fully fit, it may be worth considering that there is something else going on visually that has not yet been identified. And as parents and teachers, we want to be really careful not to reduce every struggle to effort, motivation, and behavior. So if your child says, the words are moving, my eyes are tired, or reading is making my head hurt, don't ignore them. Look beyond the basic eye test and see if their eyes are comfortably working together. Because the problem may not be so much that the child cannot see, but it could be that seeing is taking up so much effort. Thank you so much for joining me here from the Teacher's Desk. Next week, we will be starting a new 4-part series on seeing the child behind the behavior. See you then.